Welcome to Worthington Home, a channel dedicated to thrifting and sourcing vintage and antique home decor finds. We're off to a snowy start today, but it's not going to deter me. We're headed to an estate sale in nearby Southington, Connecticut. It's been running for about an hour and a half now, so we'll have to see what's still left. Hopefully, something good. This is a very big kitchen with not many things for sale in it. I'm hoping they might have what I've been looking for. And here it is. That's a score. Interesting little corbels. I think that's what they're called. Price is too high for me. This is beautiful. I love vases like these, and the spring is coming. This one is $30, but it's also wedgwood. I'm going to think about this, I think. Maybe they'll do better on the price if I ask. These clowns are a little bit off-putting, if I'm honest. This platter is so pretty. It says Lefton, but I'm not going to pay $75 for it. We've got some miscellaneous things in boxes here. And is this some kind of chess set? That's interesting, and $50. It's an interesting little bird figure of some kind. We'll just keep walking through and see if anything else catches our attention. Not seeing tons of old stuff here. These dishes are really beautiful. They are made in France. They're Limoges. I want to get a closer look at this hunting picture. It is $250, too rich for my blood, I think. I do like it. I like the frame, I like the matting, but don't want to pay $250. And the Lennox is $20. This little glass piece is $20. I was thinking this was a salt and pepper shaker, but I don't see any holes in it. I'm wondering, is it some kind of candle, maybe? It's cute. This is a beautiful bowl with the silver-plated base. It's very elegant, it's very heavy. It's got such a nice sense of movement to it, but I don't think I really need it. Let's get one more look. Yes, this is beautiful, but I don't really need it. I think it's maybe a little bit modern for my home, unless I used it for like a salad bowl, and I have a vintage punch bowl that works just fine. There's a lot of small appliances here. I wonder if the former owner actually used these appliances or if she just purchased appliances. I can be guilty of doing more of the latter than the former, if we're going to be honest. There's some artwork here in the entryway. This is a really pretty space. I want to show you the second floor landing. This is a nice spiral staircase. It's very grand and elegant. And it leads down to this beautiful wood floor. And I like the medallion in the center. It's fun to appreciate these architectural details. There's quite a few lamps in this room and another hunting picture. But I love this one. Oh my gosh, this one is really beautiful. It's $150, so the price is better, I guess, than the other one, but I like this one so much better because it's a little bit more simplistic and subdued, and it would look good in a lot of places. But let me just look at the rest of the art in this room before I get too revved up. This is interesting. And there's some smaller prints here. I think there was a lot more artwork earlier in the day. As I'm standing here debating whether or not this hunting print deserves to come home with me, it seems like the perfect moment to unpack the history behind fox hunting prints. Because if you thrift long enough, you will definitely run into them. I'm sure you've seen them before: scarlet coats, packs of foxhounds, and horses leaping over high fences. Fox hunting prints are closely tied to the English country house aesthetic, something we see trending again under names like Grand Millennial, Dark Academia, or even Ralph Lauren Christmas. And fortunately, you don't need a manor house in the Cotswolds to appreciate them. While hunting with hounds dates back to the 16th century, the golden age of fox hunting art happened later, roughly between 1750 and 1850. They coincided with a social shift in England. As deer populations declined, fox hunting became more common. Unlike royal deer hunts, fox hunting was a social event for the landed gentry and the growing middle class, as much about being seen as it was about the hunt itself. At the same time, printmaking was having a moment. Techniques like aqua tint and lithography allowed artists to create hand-colored prints that looked like watercolors, but were far more affordable than oil paintings. These prints were made for homes, not palaces, which is why so many have survived. Artists like Henry Alkin, John Frederick Herring Sr., Cecil Alden, and James Pollard became especially well known for their hunting scenes. Aquatint gave their prints soft color transitions and movement, which is why they still feel lively today. Most collectors didn't buy just one print. They bought a set of 4 that told the story of the hunt. First is the meet, the social hour. Everyone looks pristine, the horses are calm, and nothing has gone wrong. Yet. Then comes the find, when the hounds catch the scent. The full cry is the dramatic chase across the countryside, and someone is almost always falling off their horse. And finally, the death or the kill, which is the conclusion of the hunt, and often the print that's hardest to sell today, because few collectors want to gaze upon a deceased fox, myself included. If you find a set of 3, chances are the 4th was quietly removed years ago. One detail that I recently learned is that the bright red coats are actually called pinks. Some say they were named after a London tailor named Mr. Pink. Others believe the scarlet fabric simply faded to pink over time. Either way, wearing pinks signaled that you were a serious hunter and probably very committed to the lifestyle. Today, these prints are usually appreciated less as a celebration of the sport itself and more as historical artifacts and decorative art. And from a home decor perspective, they really work. They offer a built-in color palette: deep greens, warm ochres, and that unmistakable red. Even in spaces that don't feature those colors, fox hunting prints tend to enhance the room rather than compete with it. They also instantly add a sense of history, that collected English manor house feel, even if your home was built last year. For me, they bring to mind cozy English pubs, layered, welcoming, and timeless. They also make excellent gallery wall anchors. One large print can ground a collection of smaller works. If you're lucky enough to find a full set, they're perfect for a stairwell, entryway, or long wall where you want some impact. If you're hunting, pun intended, for an authentic antique print, look for a plate mark, that slight indentation from the metal printing plate. Hand-colored examples often have uneven or slightly messy coloring. And if you see names like Alkin, Herring, or Pollard, you've probably found a high-quality example. Single prints are far more commonly found and more affordable than full sets, so don't feel like you've missed out if you decide to only purchase one. So whether this print comes home with me today or stays right here, fox hunting prints have earned their place in our home decor for the atmosphere they bring into our living spaces. Okay, back to the thrifting. I wanted to show you this really pretty covered outdoor eating area. I bet this saw some fun parties in its day. It looks like a great entertaining space. I really like this lamp. It was a Delft ginger jar, but they want $100 for it and there's no shade. So I'm going to leave it behind. I guess this is a great room. It's very pretty. It's got a lot of architectural details. I really like this big fireplace. I like the stone. I've got a little Hitchcock mirror, but I'm not going to pay $200 for it. So let's go back to appreciating the room, which is free to do. You have a poker table here. I think that's a poker table. And such a pretty view. It looks lovely with the snow on the ground. There's a little bit of furniture for sale. It is a huge sectional. This little table is $150. And there is a big old bed in the corner. I'm going to take one more look at the beautiful view. Very peaceful and serene. I would imagine this room, again, saw a lot of use in its day. It's very, very pretty. Look at the ceiling. There's so many details to take in. It looks like a nice, cozy space, even though it's big. Let's make our way back to the car. I'm gonna go right through this garage. There's nothing really especially calling to me in the garage. We'll get to the car, and when we get there, I'll give you an update. I can't believe I made a total rookie error. I didn't bring enough cash with me, and now I have to go out again. The prices there were high. I'm gonna pay more for this piece than I really want to, but I love it. So let's find the cash machine. Oh my goodness. As I was leaving the estate sale, I ran into two women who live nearby. I asked them for directions to an ATM. Unfortunately, there's not one super close to here, but I'll find it. It's in my GPS. Well, the saga continues. My ATM card has expired. That's how often I use that. And so I couldn't get any cash from the bank. So now Eric is dropping what he's doing and he's gonna meet me in Southington. I feel like such a rookie and a goofball, but sometimes the heart just wants what it wants, you know? I don't know about you, but I'm starting to have deja vu. Didn't we already travel these roads before? We're just going round and round in circles, if you ask me.
Got the money.
Here's Eric saving the day. Good man. He didn't even complain about it when I asked him to come out here. Okay, here he is, my hero. We got it. Eric is the winner of the day with his big wad of cash. Eric's checking out this print in the daylight. Fortunately, he likes it a lot. Here's the house from the back of the property. We decided to drive out here to an outbuilding because we were told there are tools and all kinds of equipment back in the outbuilding. So Eric was interested in checking it out, tools being right up his alley. This is such a big property. And here's the inside. So apparently the former owner of this home was in the construction business. So he has lots of different kinds of tools and things.
Drawers, when you open them up, and you see how they're like.
Eric is tempted by a lot of things, but he kind of already has most of what he needs, and he doesn't have a ton of storage space for more stuff. So it looks like he's probably not going to come home with any new toys today, but it's still fun to look. I'm taking Eric out to breakfast to thank him for bailing me out. I I so appreciated it. Cheers. Here's to a successful estate sale day and battling the snow. We weren't sure what we wanted for breakfast, so we just kind of ordered everything. We'll do a little picking and a little sharing. It looks delicious.
There you are.
Oh my gosh, I just got back from the estate sale and from breakfast and from all the things. The snow is coming down like crazy. My hair looks like this, but I'm so excited to show you my finds. I don't even care what I look like. And so hopefully we can pretend I look a little more presentable than I actually do. So, oh my gosh, let's talk about this estate sale. So as I told you from the footage, I almost didn't go because I didn't really feel like waking up early and going through the crowds and all the mayhem. And then it snowed on top of it, so I was just gonna let it go, but then it was haunting my brain. I had to check it out. So I ended up going after the sale was almost an hour and a half underway. So I knew a lot of the good stuff would be gone, and I was just happy to browse around. It wasn't that far from my house, and it was a beautiful, if slippery, drive. So I'm glad I went. I noticed right off the bat the prices were very, very high, far higher than anything I could really buy to resell. But of course, I'm a collector first and foremost, so I thought, I'm already here. Let me at least see if there's anything that I might use myself. And I found a few interesting things. There's a cattail. So the first thing I found was very uninteresting, I'm sure, to all of you. Nothing that's going to blow your minds. It's just this oversized muffin tin, which I've been wanting for the longest time. I actually have a recipe that involves making like eggs, like baked eggs in a muffin pan, but the muffin sorry. The muffin pan I use is really so small. The muffins come out like this big. So I thought this kind of size would be perfect. And the price was $2, so you can hardly complain about that. And it was combined with this beautiful 5-finger vase, which I've always called these tulip vases, but technically it's a 5-fingered vase. It is so lovely. You can see the price tag is $30, but they gave it to me for $20. So let's just take that off because it's so ugly. There it is. So this will be beautiful when I want to use this probably in the spring. And it is Wedgwood. So there's the back stamp. So I thought this was really beautiful. I have one other 5-finger vase that I love and a tiny one that I also love. So this one will come in handy for sure. It will look really beautiful when I style it all up for the spring. I can't wait. Here's the new vase with some faux tulips in it. Real tulips would be even better, but it's not the season. And I knew they might look a little silly with a winter arrangement right next to them, but I'm ready for a little spring, especially because it's snowing outside. I think this vase is really pretty and a very nice find. I just had to show you Miss Iris sitting here in the bay window watching the snow and the cars go by. Actually, maybe she's finding this all a little tiresome. It's hard to tell, but I think she looks awfully pretty here, so I had to share. In case you're wondering what Indy is up to, he's actually hanging out with me on the dining room table while I go through all of my little finds with you. He loves to be included in the action. He started off on my lap and then he migrated to a taller surface, which is his way. And he's looking pretty cozy right here on the table. After that, I fell in love with the hunting picture that I showed you before, and I didn't have enough money for it, which is just such a rookie error. I still can't believe that. Then my ATM card didn't work because it expired. I called Eric. He's such a good sport. He came with cash and bailed me out. And while I was waiting for him, I found a couple of other things that I want to share with you. And again, not that interesting, but effective. I picked up this little mason jar because it's got the measurements on the side. And I thought this would be perfect for when I make my own salad dressings, and I can just, know how much of whatever I'm adding, and then I can shake it up and put the rest of it in the refrigerator for use another day. So I bought salad dressing like glass containers, the ones with like the skinnier neck, but they're hard to clean. I don't know. So I thought this would just be very straightforward, maybe not beautiful, but useful. And then I bought this smaller one. And my thought with the smaller one was that I would clean it really well and put Eric's mouthwash in this because I hate the look of the bottle. It's so ugly, but this would be very non-offensive. So I thought this could be used in that way. Go in the bathroom. It'd be one less unsightly thing I'm dealing with in life. I know it's silly, but sometimes the details matter, especially when, you're a little OCD. What can I tell you? I know it's silly, but I find this bottle to be so hideous. I really dislike looking at it every morning. So I'm going to switch it out and put it in this jar. And here we go. This looks like some kind of scientific experiment, but that's okay. I've seen people put mouthwash in vintage decanters, and that's really pretty too, but I just feel like this is probably a little bit more practical for us in terms of being able to wash it and use it without worrying about like a delicate stopper that could break or, could get injured and maybe we would feel sad about it. This is nice and sturdy. Fits perfectly. My last pickup while I was waiting for Eric was this beautiful silver plated bowl with the feet. I think it's really all about the feet with me. The bottom says Stiff Pewter, and it's got some numbers after it. And I saw these sell on eBay. They don't sell for $20, but when you add in the shipping, it would probably be even more than $20. And in the end, I got this bowl and the jars for a total of $10, which was, I thought, a really good price. So I was happy with this, and again, keeping it. I just put some clear glass pebbles that are used for planters at the bottom of this bowl to provide some stabilization because I put these two crystal balls right inside it. They nestle in here really well, and I like the way they look a lot, and it's a nice way to see them. They were in storage before because I didn't have a great spot for them. I love the legs on this piece. That's what makes it for me, and I think it looks pretty here on the library coffee table. I can tell the cats really like this too. And here's the third one, which is on a stand, and I think it looks really lovely here. I bought these 3 crystal balls from one collector's house. We had such a fantastic time meeting him and picking through his treasures. I'm going to add a link to that video in the description box in case you want to see it. But I'm so happy with this. So here is my absolutely favorite find of the day. And, it's not my style to pay $150 for something at an estate sale. But the truth is, I would have paid $250 for this if I saw it at an antique store. So that seemed, like a price I could live with. I love the matting on this. I love the frame. I love the print itself. The print is in pristine condition. So many times I find beautiful hunting prints, but the actual paper is damaged, or the matting is really tough to work with, or I don't like the frame. Something's always amiss, and so I see them a lot and I pass them up a lot. I just love how simplistic this is. I love the writing on it, the little coat of arms at the bottom. The colors are so soft and neutral. This is really one of my favorite scenes that I've seen in a long time. I think it's gorgeous, and it's gonna look beautiful in my home, I think. How about you though? Would you pay $150 for something you saw in an estate sale if you really loved it and knew you'd pay more for it at an antique store? Let me know in the comments what you would have done. I feel good about my purchase. I don't regret it at all. I would have done it again given the chance, but I would love to know what you would do if you were in my shoes. So of course the question is, where does this go? I have 3 different potential ideas in mind. So let's figure out what we're doing now. Little challenge here. When I took off the price sticker, it took some of the gold paint off with it. I'm hoping a little rub and buff will disguise that, but oh man, I wish they had put this on the glass instead. They probably thought it was painter's tape and painter's tape would be safe. But in my experience, that's just not always true. Nothing we can't figure out. Okay, so I have Eric holding this picture up. Honey, would you just pull it down, like hold it lower? So I want to show you why I'm not going to put this picture here. It's because if I did that, I would not be able to use so many of the other prints, and I think I prefer those. I do like the statement of one big piece, but I think I would lose some of the other prints that I love. Let me know what you think and whether that's a good idea. I think I'm going to try this in a different spot, but if you think I should maybe reconsider, let me know in the comments. The other spot I considered was here in the guest room. I have this picture that belonged to my mother. It's like Victorian looking women playing croquet. It's very sweet, but I don't really like the frame. Let me show it to you a little better. There, I think you can see it a little bit better. I like it, but I don't love it. And I also feel like this room is in danger of being maybe a little bit too feminine, which is ironic because mostly males seem to stay here. You can see the bedding is very feminine and floral. We have a very pretty rug here. And I don't know, I kind of thought it would look nice in this spot, but when I thought about it a little more, I don't want to put it in a room that I don't use that much, that doesn't get seen that much. It seemed like a wasted opportunity. The only time I really come in here is when I use my recumbent bike right here. I know it's not beautiful, but I do need it to keep my leg strong, my leg that I broke. So I try to use this like 3 times a week. It's not my favorite thing, but it helps. So anyway, this is a pretty room. It could use a little refresh in terms of artwork, but ultimately not gonna put it here. I'm upstairs with Licorice right now. She's very happy because she just jumped up on the bed. But I wanna show you this print above the bed, which I like, but I know I don't love, and it is a little small for this particular space. So I'm gonna zoom in. I do like it. It used to be my mother's. It used to hang, gosh, I think, oh my goodness, I can't even remember where it was. I think she moved it around. I think it was in the living room. Oh, isn't that awful? I can't remember. Anyway, I've had it here. I do like it. I'm not gonna get rid of it. I will hold on to this. I love the frame especially. And I love how the matting has that sort of oval inset. So I'm gonna keep this, but I think the bigger hunting picture will look really nice here. So I'm gonna swap that out and see if I like it. Okay, and here we are. It's not perfectly centered to the bed. The bed itself needs to move a little to the left, which is tricky because there's stairs here. This is a very hard room to work with, but I'll move the bed a little bit to the left so that this looks more centered. I think it's really beautiful. I like the size better. I think the colors are really good, and it's really fun to have a little bit of a change. So I think this was a good pickup. Iris is very impressed. She's having herself a little playtime. She's scratching her face again. We're going to the veterinary dermatologist on Thursday. Ka-ching. So hopefully we'll have some answers then, but back to the print. I think it's lovely. As an aside, I decided to replace the croquet players with the print that was in the bedroom because I like the frame so much better. I think it looks nice in here, and I think it does cut down on some of the strong feminine vibes in this room. Gives it a little bit more of a masculine effect. I'm still gonna keep the other print, but I'll find a different space for it, and I think I might also consider having it reframed, something I like a little bit better. Here's a close-up of the frame so you see what I mean. I really love the black with the gold, and I like that it's not too bright. I guess it's more like a brass tone maybe. I don't know, but I think it's very pretty. And as I said, I like the oval inset in this print. And this is another beautiful piece of artwork that belonged to my mother. You're getting a lot of glare on it, but she purchased this in Rockport years ago. I always loved it, and it's definitely something I cherish. Here it is. Oh, it says Rockport from the old sloop. So anyway, really nice piece. I hope you enjoyed going to the estate sale with me. I hope you enjoyed seeing all of the wares for sale and seeing all of the drama around getting cash and all the things. You just never know what's gonna happen here at Worthington Home. If you like this video, please hit like. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you next week. Bye for now.